Do you remember that whole Obama what? Obama who? Obama blood clot thing? Well, Kvaratskhelia, right? Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Good morning, 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 and welcome to a brand new Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, the 26th of March. Welcome, everybody. We are so tantalizingly close to the weekend. It's palpable, isn't it? It's almost unbearable. It's almost unbearable how close we are to the weekend. I can taste it. I can taste the beers. I can taste the good food. I can taste the... Well, I'll tell you what I can't taste. I can't taste any of the football because it's an international break, right? It's an international break. Let's face it. They're dull as scheisse. They are dull. And, oh, my God, what do we do to get through these? Also, it's that time of the season where do we really need this break? Do we really need this break? It's such a pain in the proverbial, isn't it? Every year this time, it comes around, we're in the middle of a title race again, worried about players getting injured again, and then we have to, like, things are going swimmingly so far, and then stops for a big old international turd break. I mean, I'm done with it. I wish they would do something about that. But anyway, we're going to brighten up your morning with some Arsenal news. There's a lot going on in the Arsenal verse at the moment, believe it or not. You'd think there's not, but there is. And I've got a lot to present to you today. Good morning. I'm Edwin Ash, and we would like you to get involved with this show. It is the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. We are live every morning, 7 a.m. Monday to Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. For the good vibes, the good conversations, the good discourse. You can get involved, and we want you to get involved at Big Ass Breakfast on TikTok, at Big Ass Breakfast on Instagram, and at Big Ass Brecky on X, and at Big Ass breakfast.bsky.social. If you're on bsky, can't seem to find anyone there. It's the deadest account that I've got, but if you are there, come and join us over there on Bsky. I do quite like it. The discourse is it's a bit more pleasant than Twitter, isn't it? I would say it's a little bit less than Twitter. So if you're there, get involved. But we are first of all going to say good morning to those in the chat, and in the chat, as ever, is G-Dog. G-Dog. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us again. G-Dog says, morning again, saw these links yesterday. Unreal if we get Kvaratskhelia and Alvarez. Need to get this league done, though. Oh, boy, G-Dog, don't we just? Do you believe these links? We're going to go into the Kvaratskhelia thing shortly. We're going to have a little chat about that. Alvarez, I could see that more than I could Kvaradona. How do you say it's Kvaradona? I could see that more. But we'll get into that in just a second. So, yeah, on the Kvaratskhelia, it's gonna be so difficult for me to say that this morning. Kvaratskhelia rumors, could we really? Then we have a little bit about the Hollywood superstar. Kate Mara kind of asked, what's up with Arsenal fans? We're going to have a tiny chat about that. Simon Collings has done a piece on Zubimendi in The Sun and his dip in form of late. And we've got a tiny bit more on the Ben White situation at England. Only a little bit mind. Again, don't want to dwell on it because, look, every dog and their journalist has had their say on that. But let's get into the spicy news of supposedly Kvaratskhelia is interested in a move to Arsenal, reporting by Miguel Delaney. He said Arsenal have been investigating whether a deal for Kvaratskhelia is possible this summer. His camp are understood to be open, or at least exploring options. Now, it's a little bit ambiguous, but if he's open to it and if we've got the money, I think that is a player we should be going for, right? I mean, it's a really major boost from his camp because he was open to the idea. It went from PSG being like, no, definitely not, to his camp going, oh, maybe a move to North London. I mean, that's a shift. Even recently, that's a shift. The barrier really would be that PSG kind of see him as the jewel of the project and near unsellable, having only joined them in January 2025. And of course, he's since won the Champions League. I mean, if it's to happen, it's going to be some serious hard line negotiations. And that is where Andrea Berta comes in. do your work, my friend. If you're a big shot sporting director, buy players type person, this is the one. This is the one. To fund it, though, you would think that we would have to, and we'd have to sell. Andrea Berta has already been told this year he's got to sell some good players. He's got to sell. He's got to generate some money because we spent a bit in the summer, didn't we? Not as much as some other clubs. No. But we spent a bit in the summer, so we're going to have to get rid. And who do you think we've got to get rid of? Who do you think we've got to get rid of? Get in the chat, get in the comments, because quite frankly, there's a lot going around. I see a lot about Martinelli. Obviously, Jesus will go, but I doubt he'll generate much. I think Ødegaard is touted to go. I mean, there's kind of rumours around the club. Rumours around the club, only rumours, unsubstantiated, that perhaps Martin Ødegaard and Mikel Arteta are not falling out as such, but the relationship is well, they're not looking fond of each other. That's not to say that they're pissed off of each other. My understanding of it, from what I read from people that supposedly are in the know, is that they're just a bit like, this isn't working anymore. So maybe that Ødegaard might have to make way, which could be interesting. I mean, Arteta really is looking for a star man, isn't he? That's a fact. Arteta's looking for star men now. This is what he wants. I mean, the Gyökeres thing, we've got him. He's here. We do it. That wasn't an Arteta signing. He wants magic. He really wants magic. And that's what I think he's tasked Berta with doing, getting us some magic through the door. I mean, Kvaratskhelia recently, his form's on the up, including 3 goals against Chelsea in the Champions League. I mean, he really is starting to fire at the wrong time of the season for Arsenal, but the right time of the season for him. And basically, you know, he's a shit hot player. There was a little bit of talk about what he's like. I mean, the price tag, I should say the price tag would be huge, you would imagine. We're talking upwards of £100 million. I'd imagine PSG would want even more than that. So I think that's a major stumbling block to begin with. The wage structure would have to be, if not broken, he'd have to be one of the top earners at Arsenal. We're talking Bukayo Saka money. It would be in excess of 300 grand a week. So that would be something we'd have to look at. And then there was a little bit of a take about whether his defensive skills without the ball are good. But according to Luis Enrique recently, who publicly said he praised Kvaratskhelia for his defensive skills without the ball. So he's got the high level mentality. He's got the high level skill. It would certainly be exciting to see someone that exciting in the team, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. That would be really, really something. And I, for one, would champion it. G-Dog's been in the chat. He says he would champion it. What do you think? What do you think? Luxury player? Too good? Too good to be true, this rumor? Keep an eye on that one. Also in the news, Simon Collings has done a piece over at The Sun. It's worth a read. Again, I won't spoil the whole thing because he's put the hard yards in. There's no point me regurgitating all of it here. That would be slightly unfair, but he had posted on Twitter, Arsenal midfielder Martin Zubimendi is struggling for form. But why is that the case after a flying start in North London? Well, for one, he's clocked up more minutes than any Arsenal outfield player this season, which he has. And the piece basically talks about how he had red hot momentum at the beginning. It's now hit a bit of a dry patch. Contract talks about extending his contract or renewing his contract apparently have slightly stalled. And his camp are waiting to see what Arsenal do in the summer in terms of purchases. He's almost certainly wanted by Real Madrid and Barcelona, so not that either of them have that much money. But yeah, he's still on their radar. And there's a little bit of whispers about him missing the Spanish lifestyle. And his long-term future may not be as secure as we thought at the Emirates. But there's some good stuff in there. Simon Collings about Zubimendi and his dry patch. It is well worth a read. I implore you to go do it. It's over at thesun.co.uk. A little bit more on the Ben White situation, which has been basically riling Arsenal fans, including myself, over the last few days. Isaan Khan over at the Daily Mail has done a piece about how that came to fruition, how Ben White has made his return to the England setup. Obviously, his 3-year exile is over. And after a long road back with that knee injury and the birth of his son, he's been called up by Thomas Tuchel ahead of Gerard Quansah, Where's Kwanzaa at the moment? Is it Leipzig? Is it Leipzig that Kwanzaa's at the moment? Nonetheless, the interesting bit about it is that this has been going on for a long time. He was due to be called up, supposedly, last year, but because of injuries and whatnot. So Tuchel's had his eye on him for a long time. He obviously rates him because he's a very well-rated player and he's good when he's fit. So any of that crap that was going around from Henry Winter and the likes and all that stuff yesterday, well, I can't believe he's going to get... He's a good England player. We might need him. I say we because obviously I'm English. I support England. We might need him. So all of those hit pieces, my God, did they make my piss boil. So shut up. Tuchel wants him. Tuchel wants him. That's good enough for me. Except for when it applies to like Jordan Henderson. Yeah. And then there was a bit in there about how the fact that when he got the phone call to say he's back, he got emotional. He got really emotional. And as I said yesterday, you can find the video from when he first got called up and how proud he was to be called up for England. So I don't want to hear any of this shit about him turning his back on England. Because I promise you, he absolutely did not turn his back on England. And on top of that, right, a lot of that turn your back on England stuff comes from a certain section of people that, let's face it, are a little bit, how do I put this politely? They love their country and they talk about things of history. And I promise you, if you want to talk about things of history and you want to make that analogy, Ben White would be in the trenches. Ben White would be at the front of the trenches, taking all the boots off of the rival soldiers and turning their guns around on them and sticking, I don't know, bubblegum in their hair, really pissing them off. You would want him there on the front lines. Trust me, that's the Ben White you want. We're going to break off here. G-Dog said, right. He said, with Kvaratskhelia, yeah, happy to swap him for Martinelli. Jesus will go. Erdegaard will stay for me, but we need something in that midfield area. Norgard will stay for me. I think Norgard's going at the end of the season, He's promised to go back to his original Danish club, hasn't he? Whether that's this season or next, I'm not sure. But if Norgard's to stay, surely he has to play a bit more, doesn't he? Doesn't he have to play a bit more? He said, we might sell Nwaneri or MLS. Yeah, I think that's on the cards, mate. I really do. I really do. And then he put, if he can stay fit, is he finally over this season's issues? I assume you're talking about Erdegaard. We don't know, do we, buddy? We don't know. We are about to find out because that Eze injury has really put the spotlight back on Martin Erdegaard. Sorry, I can barely speak this morning. Thank you, G-Dog. Stay with us. And yeah, so a little bit of England chat there. A little bit of England chat with Ben White. And then finally, on general news, I just wanted to move into a little bit of like, I don't know, culture piece. A little bit of culture piece that I saw yesterday. I thought it was quite interesting in a way. Kate Mara. If you don't know who Kate Mara is, she's a Hollywood superstar. She's an actress, and she was talking to Chris Evans on Georgian. And this is what she had to say.
I'm an Arsenal fan. Psychotic. It really affects our entire family. When we win, it's a problem because it's stressful because we need to keep winning. When we don't win, it's a problem because we're not winning.
Yeah. Now, I found this really interesting just purely because it is stressful when we win. It's stressful when we're not winning. And there's been a lot going around about Arsenal fans at the moment, right? Let's be honest. We are getting hammered. And it just begs the question that I wanted to answer in a brief thing here, which is basically, what is up with Arsenal fans? I'm going to tell you. The condition of the Arsenal support is it's not merely one of sporting anxiety, right? It's a profound, multi-generational psychological trauma. To understand the nervy gooner, one must look past the current league table and into the history of forced austerity and systemic displacement. The root of this neurosis lies in the great betrayal of the mid-2000s, where Project Youth years are now remembered with a shudder. They were, in truth, quite a noble experiment conducted in a counting house to fund the gleaming Emirates Stadium. The club transformed itself from a powerhouse into a finishing school, selling its finest jewels to the highest bidder as soon as they began to sparkle. And then came the usurpers. The arrival of the oligarchs at Chelsea and the state-backed juggernaut of Manchester City. They didn't just move the goalposts, they bought the stadium and the league with them. These nouveau riche entities, fueled by creative accounting and unchecked wealth, effectively evicted Arsenal from their rightful place at the summit. It was a hostile takeover of English football, leaving Arsenal to rot in a cycle of mismanagement and top four trophies that felt, but I think they felt more like a cage, didn't they? And then if you look over to Old Trafford, you see the same sort of dysfunction. Manchester United, once the gold standard, now wallow in the same swamp of parasitic ownership and structural decay that plagued Arsenal for a decade. But the difference is we Arsenal fans have lived through it twice over. Today, I mean, the pressure is a different kind of weight, isn't it? It's been 22 years since the Invincibles walked the earth, and the weight has turned that kind of hope into a jagged edge. And the media, they don't report it. The media goads, it prods the fan base with relentless shtick of bottling it or ugliest team ever. And social media, that absolute digital asylum, has democratized the mockery, making every set-piece goal that we score or every hard-fought win an event of ridicule. I mean, Arsenal fans, we're not just watching a game. We are reliving a 2-decade-long siege. And we bite at the bait because we've been starved for so long. We're not nervy because we lack the faith in the football, but because we've learned that in this sport, the carpet can be pulled by a billionaire or a referee's whim at any moment. So yeah, we're tetchy. We are tetchy. And if we do win, we'll no doubt be faced with worst team ever. One title in 22 years. But if we do win, we would have done it the right way. Okay. Sorry. Had to get that off my chest. Big ass opinions. Big ass opinions. Yeah. That childish fart sound effect means it's time for some opinions. We've been looking across the Twitterverse and also taking your comments as ever at Big Ass Breakfast on TikTok, at Big Ass Breakfast on Insta, at Big Ass Brecky on X, and we're on Blue Sky if you can be bothered to find us. You can also email us, show at bigarsenalbreakfast.com. That's show at bigarsenalbreakfast.com. We're there and we're here for you. We want to know what you got to say, man. Get involved like G-Dog does. Every morning he's on the chat. He's giving us the good shit. You are. G-Dog, to be fair, you are giving us the good shit. You really are. Okay. Number one, Frankie_Kokoza. Forgive me if I haven't pronounced that right, Frankie. He got in touch on TikTok just to say, I hope we see Kvara in Arsenal next season. Simplified, nice and easy. The hope is there, Frankie, my friend. So do I. And I would say there's probably about 98% of Gunners that say they would too. And then probably a fraction of 2% that are tacticos or something that be like, no, because actually what he doesn't do is G's and A's on the, I don't know. Insert your own made up stat. But yeah, Frankie, thanks for getting in touch. We all want to see that. AE at Arteta Era on Twitter said, I've always been a firm supporter of Arteta's project and I believe in whatever he believes in without doubt, but dropping Miles to the bench like all this never happened is crazy. With the left back full and our midfield looking flaky, especially in build-up, I think this is the solution. So yeah, this is basically a shout for Miles Lewis-Skelly. I've been seeing a lot of this for months. A lot of people are fully fledged members of the MLS fan club, aren't they? And that's fine. I mean, I am as well. To drop him in midfield right now at this stage of the season, I'm a little bit nervous about things like that. Even with the Max Dowman chat at centre attacking midfielder, I get to this stage of the season. I'm sure Arteta probably does too, because he and I are obviously like-minded, brilliant Premier League managers. I get to start stage of the season and start to think, what is too late to start trying things out? What is too late to start trying things out? Is it now? We assume that whoever's not playing is the solution. We've already got it in our heads that Martin Ødegaard's going to come back and save us. He may well not. He may well not. So whoever who's not playing is always the solution. And in Miles's case, in this tweet, by the way, this is a compilation of Miles just absolutely rinsing players in the midfield, breezing past players, laying the ball off, doing all the good stuff. And it's always good when you see a comp clip because you think, oh my God, he'll do it every game. Not always been the case though, has it? But there is a part of me, the Tetchy Gooner, who sat here thinking, shall we give it a try? Shall we give it a try? That League Cup performance was so bad. Do we need to just throw everything in the kitchen sink at this team now? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, I agree. Not the time. Maybe he will get a good run in the preseason and will work his way into maybe replacing Norgard. Yeah. Yeah, G-Dog. He's definitely got something. He's definitely got a place. He's definitely got an involvement, but it might be too late this season. Thank you, G-Dog. PG at Guna Girl 1969 said, I've supported us for 56 years. I can honestly say, growing up, we were never this hated unless you were Spurs. Like we're seeing now. I don't deny we have some idiot fans, but all clubs do. It's strange other fans want City to win over us, considering the many charges against them. And that kind of hit home a little bit because we're talking about this a lot and we'll do for a long time. We will do, let's face it. We are so hated. So hated. It's really funny that this whole thing is like, yeah, but it's all Arsenal fans, isn't it? I mean, have you seen other clubs' fans as well? And it is weird how everyone's twerking for City, but my theory remains the same as it always has been. City winning is a null and void result for people who have feelings about rival clubs. If Chelsea were going for it, if Man United were going for it, if Liverpool were going for it, everyone would still want City to win. Why? Because all those clubs I've mentioned have had rivalries with each other over the years. The hatred, I get it from the fans. I don't get it from the media. I don't know why we are the media's like shtick. I don't get it. It is a bit weird. Last one of the day came from AF Camden or AFC Amden. I never know that one. He tweeted, I don't know if this is a wind-up, but people seem to take it seriously. He's a well-connected guy, obviously. You probably know him online. He's a guy that can definitely say he's in the know. I don't know if this is a troll, but he said, rumours starting to build that Manchester City will get a points deduction pretty soon. And it's generated a lot of debate because basically Arsenal fans are like, no, don't do it now. Don't do it now when we're in the title running, because even if we win it, and I'd love it, and there are some Arsenal fans that are like, yeah, do it now, give us the title. I'll take that. I wouldn't want that, because you know the Asterix party will be out there in full force. I want to do it. I would say fair and square. Fair, unfair and square. I want to beat them unfair and square. All right? Don't do the points deduction now. Let us win the league, then give it to them, you know. Like, that's probably more likely to happen. Give them a points deduction when it doesn't matter, Premier League. That'll be the arrangement. And then we can all move on. And finally, instant karma, take of the day.
Instant karma, take of the day.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the instant karma take of the day comes from Patrick Timmons, and he says 50 games this season, only 4 defeats. Stick with the boys. They've earned it. Plenty of football still to be played. Yeah, I think this is in reaction to a little bit of the meltdown that happened from Sunday's League Cup final, which I totally understand. But look, he's right. We've played 50 games this season. We've only lost 4. We're in good shape. We've got a good manager. We've got a quality team. We need to do a bit of rejigging. We need to do a little bit of re-upping. We need to do a little bit of recharging, resetting, re-going again. Touch wood. Touch wood. The one thing I would say about this team, which has been consistent, is when we lose a game, we bounce back strong. Touching wood. Touching the biggest wood you've ever seen. I'm touching all the wood. Anyway, that's it for this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do, if you can be bothered, if you be so kind, like and subscribe. We need to reach more Gooners. We want to reach more Gooners. We want to get out there to the Arsenalverse. We're going to be here every morning for you. Every morning we are here. Come rain or shine, we are here. 7 a.m. Monday to Friday, Sunday and Saturday, 9 a.m. I don't know why I start with a Sunday, but I always do that. So basically, weekdays, 7 a.m. Weekends, 9 a.m. And we are here for your chat. That is what the show is for. It's for you to get involved with us. And we are, one more time, TikTok at Big Ass Breakfast, Insta at Big Ass Breakfast, X Big Ass Brecky. We're on Blue Sky if you can find us. Like and subscribe, pretty please. Get involved. Get in the comments from the show. Also, we have the podcast. So if you caught a bit of this, but you don't know where to get the rest, we have the podcast that gets released every day, about 20 minutes. I'm going to release that in about 10 minutes. That's going up in about 10 minutes. You can have that on your commute. You can have that in the car. You can have that while you're doing the dishes. You can have it wherever you want it, man. You can have it whilst you're making love. Yeah, maybe not that. But yeah, so we have that. The podcast. We're here every day. You can comment in the YouTube comment section. We'll read them out the next day. I always go and check them. Get involved. Get involved. Thank you very much. Right, that's it. That is it. We will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. As I said, covering the news, reviews, and the occasional booze. Hopefully not the booze. But for today, Thursday, get your ass in gear. All right?